This is Mission Control Houston. This is Mission Control Houston. Good morning. Today is Saturday, September 28th, 2019. Right now you're getting a live look from the International Space Station, looking 250 meters away at the H2 transfer vehicle, HTV-8, that's flying in tandem with the International Space Station, awaiting departure from that hold point to meet up with the International Space Station and capture the 4 tons of cargo that are inside here in the next hour or so. The space station itself is flying 258 statute miles over the Indian Ocean on a northeastern track towards the western coast of India now. Waiting inside the International Space Station is the crew of Expedition 61. Currently 9 crew members aboard the International Space Station now, 2 of whom are in the cupola module at the controls of the station's robotic arm, monitoring the approach of the H2 transfer vehicle. And soon, once the HTV is in range for capture, just about 10 to 12 or so meters away from the International Space Station, those 2 astronauts will reach out with the station.
HCP command checkout.
Y'all, Neil.
Again, Neil Nagata, Capcom here in Mission Control, reading off the go to depart that 250-meter hold point that you see HTV currently flying as the International Space Station continues to fly over the Indian Ocean, again about to cross over the western border of India, just over Mumbai. NASA astronaut Andrew Morgan confirming that call from the International Space Station. Again, he, along with Christina Cook, in the cupola.
Check out hold arm per step 5 and 1.102.
Copy, Neil. Step 5 and work.
Again, Capcom Neil Nagata reading off those the confirmation that the HTV is now in an approach. Now closing in and speeding up its rate of approach, now just exceeding just 0.05 meters per second at this point. The 250-meter hold was one of the final milestones for HTV before it crosses the Keep Out sphere. This is at about the 200-meter point around the International Space Station. Once the HTV is within that range, the space station astronauts will have enough communication and the go to issue an abort if necessary, if they see anything is wrong with the approach. But so far, everything going according to plan. HTV on its way, now just over 0.14 meters per second on its approach, now less than 250 meters. The next hold point will be at the 30-meter hold point. HTV making its way there now as the space station and the HTV now cross over the border of the western border of India.
Okay, copy.
About to cross over New Delhi. Good telemetry readings from Drew Morgan aboard the International Space Station. Meters away from the International Space Station, but first it's got to get to that 30-meter hold point. Still a lot of time to configure the arm for those next milestones and get the HTV captured on time today. We're shooting for a capture at 6:15 a.m. Central Time.
And Station Houston on Space to Ground 2, HTV is inside the 200-meter keep-out sphere. Crew now has authority to issue an abort if no comm with MCCH and light is outside the corridor.
Copy all, Neil.
The H2 transfer vehicle now less than 200 meters away, 193 meters, and closing at a rate of about 0.24 meters per second. Again, Neil Nagata, the Capcom.
And a half a vehicle width to the starboard.
All right. Houston copies. Good report. Thank you.
Copy, Neil.
HTV now less than 160 meters from the International Space Station and closing at about 0.2 meters per second. Good readouts from the telemetry that Andrew Morgan inside the cupola is reading. He's next to Christina Cook, that's at the helm of the robotic arm. It's been quite a journey for the H2 transfer vehicle so far. We're again looking for a capture that's currently scheduled at 6:15 a.m. Central Time, and so far we're on track for that capture. If you have any questions about HTV, please use the hashtag AskNASA. We'll try to fit in as many questions as we can throughout the duration of the flight of HTV until the capture here in just about an hour and 15 minutes. It's been quite a journey for the HTV so far, lifting water and split the hydrogen and oxygen atoms to provide oxygen for the cabin inside the International Space Station. So the 9 crew members aboard International Space Station right now have a good environment to breathe. Pressure inside is kept at about sea level with a mixed cabin atmosphere of both nitrogen and oxygen. HTV currently flying right in tandem with the International Space Station, just 15 meters away at this point. Crossing over the terminator line, now starting to see some of the sunlit portions of the Earth as it makes its way over the South Pacific Ocean. Soon we'll be seeing some of the southwestern coast of Chile. HTV-8 flying just under 14 meters away from the International Space Station, one of the external high-definition cameras aboard the International Space Station. HTV-8 still slowing its approach towards that capture point, the International Space Station, and HTV-8 already crossing over the southern tip of South America, just east off the coast of the southern borders of Argentina at this point.
Station Houston on Space to Ground 2. HTV is at the capture point. Confirm capture point hold per step 10 in 1.10.
Yes, HCP LED status matches per step 11. At capture prep is confirmed and the crew is ready for HTV capture.
All right, copy that, Drew. Stand by for capture.
Neil, standing by.
Good reports from Mission Control Houston and from the crew. Everything looking good so far. We'll just get that final go from Mission Control Houston here in just a few moments.
All right, Station Houston on Space to Ground 2 for HTV. You are go.
HTV-8, holding steady at the capture position. The International Space Station 267 statute miles over the South Atlantic Ocean, heading on a northeastern course towards the southwestern coast of Africa. One meter from capture. Canadarm2 is over the pin. And we have a good soft capture. 6:12 a.m. Central Time. The International Space Station was flying 262 statute miles over the southern border of the South African country of Angola. A few more milestones for that hard capture, but again, 6:12.
Houston Station on 2, HTV capture is complete. Your go for HTV post-capture reconfiguration. We'd like to also say congratulations to the HTV-8 teams around the world. What you all have done is a testament to what we can accomplish when international teams work together for a common goal. We're honored to have Contori on board and look forward to a successful and productive mission together.
All right, Houston copies all and concurs. Good words there. Congratulations on the capture. That was some great flying.
Happy Neil. Thank you.
That was the voice of Christina Cook at the controls of the robotic arm, successfully capturing the HTV this morning. That hard capture confirmed at 6:13 a.m. Central Time by the crew. Soft capture was at 6:12 a.m. Central Time over the southern African country of Angola. This is Mission Control Houston. Good morning. Today is Saturday, September 28th, 2019. Right now you're getting a live look from the International Space Station, looking 250 meters away at the H2 transfer vehicle.